taking a look at number 24. They're talking about shipping different types of packages. I'm going to call X the number of packages they ship that are less than $25, and Y is going to be the number of packages that they ship between with a cost between $25.01 and $75, and then Z is going to be the number of packages they ship that have a price of over $75. And in the first line, they tell me that they shipped one week they shipped 600 orders. So if I add X and Y and Z, that should add up to 600. And they tell me a little bit more about the prices. They tell me that the shipping charges, they charge $4 for every small package, and then they charge $8 for every medium package for shipping, and then they charge $10 for every large package. And in 1 week, those orders totaled $4,280 in shipping charges. My last equation is going to come from that sentence that says 80 more orders for $25 or less were shipped than orders for more than $75. So in other words, if I were to add 80 to the large orders, I would get the small orders. 80 more items were shipped less than $25 than those that were shipped more. Now, I like to line my equations up, so I would rather this last one be written negative x plus z equals negative 80. I move the x over here and the 80 over here, and that way things tend to line up. So, all right, looking at this equation, it's missing a y. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these two and see if I can eliminate the y, and then I'll have two equations that don't have y's, and I can work with those two equations to solve them. So using the first two equations, if I want to eliminate a y, I'm going to multiply the top line by a negative 8. Negative 8x minus 8y minus 8z equals 600 times negative 8 would be negative 4,800. And the bottom line is going to stay the same. Okay, I'll add these two lines together. Negative 8x and 4x make negative 4x. The y's cancel. I get 2z. And when I add negative 4,800 and 4,280, I get 520. Negative 520. Sorry. So negative 4x plus 2z equals negative 520. I'm going to write that here. Negative 4x plus 2z equals negative 520. Now I'm going to try to cancel either my x's or my z's. I think I'll cancel the x's, and I'll multiply this top line by a negative 4. So the top line becomes 4x minus 4z equals 80 times 4 would be 320, and the bottom line is going to stay the same. And when I do that, I get negative 2z equals 320 minus 520 is negative 200. So z is 100. That means they sold 100 packages that cost over $75. Now look here at this equation. If I take z and I add 80, I should get x. So if that's true, then z plus 80 equals x means I had 180 packages that were the small ones that cost less than $25. And remember, there was a total of 600 packages. So if you add 100 and 180, that means that there has to be 320 of the middle packages in order for it to total up to 600. And if you add x and y and z, it should add up to 600. Let's double check our answers and make sure with the money situation that it works out. So what I want to check is, does 4 times the 180 packages plus 8 times the 320 packages plus 10 times the 100 large packages, is that going to add up to this 4280? I'm going to check it right quick on my calculator just to make sure that I set everything up correctly, and that does work out. It is 4280, so these are correct. Right, in 27 we have an investment problem, so we're going to be talking about interest rates. We got Jamal, he earns a year in bonus of $5,000 and he puts it into three one-year investments that pay $243 in simple interest. Um, one part is invested at 3%, part is invested at 4%, and part at 6%. So I'm going to let the X be how much he invests at 3%. I'm going to let Y be how much he invested at 4%. I'm going to let Z be how much he invested at 6%. So he invested $5,000. So total between these three is $5,000. So if I did the 3% of X and the 4% of Y and the 6% of Z, that should give me the total interest, which was $243. All right, there's 1,500 more invested at 6% than at 3%. So X plus 1,500 would equal Z. So now I just got to solve this and figure out how much was invested at each one. If you'll notice, this one would be X minus Z equals negative 1,500. So that doesn't have a Y. So if I use these two to try to get rid of Y, then I'd be in good shape. All right, so if I'm going to cancel out the Y's, I'm going to multiply this top line by negative 0.04. And it becomes negative 0.04x minus 0.04y minus 0.04z equals 5,000 times 0.04 is, it'd be negative 200. And I'd leave this second line the same, equals 243. Add these two lines together, I get negative 0.01x, the y's would cancel, plus 0.02z equals 43. So now I'm going to put that up here, just like it's written, and decide what I want to cancel, whether I want to cancel the x's or the z's. And I think I'll cancel, it doesn't really matter, I guess I could cancel the x's. Multiply by 0.01. 0.01x minus 0.01z equals 1,500 times 0.01 is 15. So that would be negative 15 over here. And the bottom line is going to stay the same. Combine these two lines together, the x's cancel. We get 0.01z equals negative 15 plus 43 is 28. Divide by 0.01. At 6%, he invested $2,800. Alright, so that's how much he invested at 6%. Now, x plus 1,500 equals z. So if that's true, x plus 1,500 equals 2,800, that means x, how much he invested at 3%, would have to be $1,300. And remember, there was a total of 5,000 invested, so if x is 1,300 and z is 2,800, then missing would be 900. I would have to have $900 at 4%. Now let's make sure that that does total up to 5,000. That's correct. So does 0.03 times x plus 0.04 times y plus 0.06 times z, is that going to add up to $243 of interest? And I just did it on my calculator and it does. So that is the correct answer for number 27.